Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, next one we got here is by Rev Says Desu, and we here in my community, we love Rev. He does great work, he has great takes. And this one is, you never see VTuber drama end with a crash out this humiliating. So, I have no idea what's going on, but let's see what the humiliation is.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So over the years I've covered countless examples of VTuber related drama, but I have to say over the years I've never seen a situation end quite like this, where a VTuber completely crashes out in a voice memo and also in many different replies. They have been fighting for their lives in the replies of various threads, trying to prove how good of a person they are while doing everything to prove they are the exact opposite. Now, this drama actually starts from this post right here, where the VTuber Nani is simply thanking their viewers for showing up to their latest stream. While one person had a very big problem with that, another VTuber would leave not only a very long string of unhinged replies, literally picking a fight and then eventually playing the victim, as we'll see, but they also left this voice memo. I've never seen anything like this. This might be a first in the VTuber drama history I've ever covered. They left a voice note going after Nani, basically saying that they're jealous and that this VTuber is superior to them because they make adult content, while they also try to claim that Nani is committing crimes because of the tone of her voice. It is very unhinged, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the other VTuber in the Thunderdome for today. This is the person making the voice memo and the related crash outs. Their name is Nitha, and we'll get into all of their crash outs in just a second because I have some good news to share. Now, a few days ago, I posted my latest merch drop with Market. It was to celebrate my birthday on the 23rd. And I'm very happy to share that only fundraiser component of this campaign, the Acid Wash t-shirt, is now fully funded with nearly a month to go on the campaign.
I hope one day to have merch of my own. It's like a goal of mine to one day have Griffin Knight Nerd Empire merch.
Now, of course, I'll put a link to this campaign in the pinned comment if you guys want to check this out. I know a lot of people are really excited about this drop. I won't bore you with too many details. I'll just scroll through quickly. We have the Acid Wash t-shirt as well as the hoodie, a hat, a mouse pad, jet tags, as well as a standee. Support on this campaign not only supports the channel in a very direct way, but also helps ensure future campaigns as well. And shout outs again to Market for being one of the most based companies you'll ever see out there. Now let's get back into the content for this video, which ironically enough begins with another situation involving some drama focusing on a VTuber by the name of Blue. This is a League streamer who's currently beefing.
A League streamer. The ever lovely League of Legends. The one, I think League of Legends probably has like the most toxic community out of all gaming communities.
Multi-day conflict with a face camming League streamer, and it's gotten really toxic. What began as kind of dueling insults between the two of them has evolved into something much greater than that, where the face cammer is now accusing this VTuber of being a literal predator and promoting predator bait related content. I just want to show you a clip from this situation. I don't want to get too deep into the situation because it truly is a mess, but I want to play the clip to give you an idea of just how messy and toxic this is.
I'm reporting that Kogma stream because he's really weird. Can we go report that Kogma, please, girls? Thank you. We need to go report her immediately.
Like, so totally. We need to, like, so report this person. Like, oh my god.
Wait, what do I report her for, guys? Well, I don't know what to report her for. I'm just gonna report her for hateful conduct. It's true.
You shouldn't just randomly report people because you don't like them. The only times reporting should happen is if something has happened that is worth reporting. Apparently, he's just reporting her to report her for some bullshit that didn't happen.
Okay, my Jana is looking a little disabled, but it's all good. Why are you being a weird bitch, and why are you an ugly ass bitch whose mom doesn't love him?
Now his mods start coming to my stream to harass me and tell me to. It's just, I'm sorry, if I ever find anybody from my community or from anyone else's community that has gone to someone else to tell them to end themselves or come in here to tell me to end myself, they're instantly and permanently getting banned. I don't tolerate this shit. This is something you shouldn't do to anybody.
I don't know. Guess there's questions of the world that will never get answered. I'm not gay. Questions of the world, don't we? Girl, you're a man with a voice changer. I am! How could you tell?
Oh boy, color me shocked. A face cammer is accusing a VTuber of doing heinous crimes based on their model and the tone of their voice. Many such cases. But this guy, Henry here, has been crashing out on Twitter, quoting a related clip showing that, yes, both this VTuber and the face cammer have been clashing, insulting each other, trying to get their communities to report one another. It's a very toxic situation. It's a very...
Oh no, people who play League are attacking each other. Oh no. How... Woe is me. Oh my god. Ember has the same rule. No threats of violence, no brigading. She made that very clear. Yeah, I don't tolerate that shit. My community is a community that is meant to be respectable. Who we care, we respect, and we do not tolerate the shit. And I, as the leader of my community, have to also set that same example. I don't tolerate the shit.
League situation, but Henry would quote a related clip saying, "The effing baby voice and accent and telling people to die while also making fun of people's names and disabilities and calling them the R slur. Oh, I'm irritated." Oh, and boy, this guy has been very irritated the last, I don't know, like 3 days at this point, where he would post this saying, "You're telling me this B word," went out of their way to make a character of a little child with big breasts.
What about her character says child?
Who uses a whole baby voice to lure sick predator men to make money off of that? Like, we think that's okay, and then tagging the VTuber saying, how do these things have a platform? Now, you might notice this guy who thinks this VTuber is promoting...
Atanashi has timed people out for joking about bringing harm to other people in chat. They take it very seriously. See, to me, as long as jokes are jokes, no matter what, you either everything is okay or nothing is okay to be joked about. The moment you start actually actively taking shit seriously and actually mean what you're saying and being actually malicious, that's when I start having a problem. Things can be joked about, but you cannot be actively malicious.
Predator-related content has no issue reposting that same content he thinks is illegal. In fact, he would quote some art of this VTuber saying, "I'm so disgusted." If you scroll through her fan art tag, she's literally depicted as a teen, and y'all are calling me crazy for trying to report a predator.
It's funny to think that these people just think that because they're of a certain height and they look young that they're a child, without even realizing that there are adults in real life who are this small, this petite, and are still of adult age. There's nothing that's wrong with that. The fact that your thought process immediately went to pedo, I think says more about you than the actual person you have a problem with.
They're like, these 50-year-old gooners are getting way too brave. Baby This is not normal. We need some mental help in jail for them. So not only is this guy trying to deplatform this VTuber over the model and the voice, but he wants her in jail. Okay? And also, this language right here, I talk about this all the time. Anyone who unironically calls a stranger on the internet like baby or honey or anything like that, massive red flag, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, like the only person you should be calling baby, honey, love, or any of those little cute pet names is the person you're dating. Or if both of you are actively flirting with each other with the intention of possibly dating. That's it. Anyone outside of that, you really should not be calling the person that, because that's a little weird.
But this guy who's so terrified of this apparently jail-worthy content has no issue saving, downloading, and then reposting that same content with a caption like baby, this is a whole child. Yes, if you believe this is CP, why are you downloading it and redistributing it? By your own standards, you would be what? What exactly? You're not law enforcement. You're not anything like that. How do you explain this? It's okay for you to do it, but it's not okay for them to do it. Like, your delusions are one thing, but you genuinely believe this is illegal material that should land you in jail, and you're saving it to your computer and then reposting it to thousands of users. By your own standard, what does that make you? But he goes even further. Now going into the replies of the VTuber saying, oh, so you don't want to address your predator pictures. And then he...
What about these two photos says pedo? Logically explain that. Oh, you can't? Then shut the fuck up.
reposts these supposed predator pictures. Do you understand how hypocritical and insane these individuals are? But let's go back to Nani. This VTuber has found herself in some controversy because of the other VTuber we'll be talking about in just a second, but I think it's clear that Nani does not have an issue with people saying the
Holy crap. That's a lot.
word regard, quoting Henry and making it very clear that his outrage over the R slur is something they don't take seriously. Now, things would be very different when you look at the responses from Nitha, who has a very different perspective, to say the least, on the situation, quoting a related post saying, hey, so when are we going to stop platforming pieces of crap like this, slinging slurs while simultaneously using a fake baby voice? Is actually enraging, by the way. First point, how do you know they're faking their voice? People say that all the time. They're like,
Yeah, there's the other thing. There are plenty of people in real life who have the actual voice like this, like we heard from I forget what this VTuber's name was, but this League VTuber. There are plenty of people who have this high-pitched baby-like voice in real life. One, because that's just how their voice developed, or two, because of some sort of medical reason. And to any time that you hear somebody with this kind of voice to say, oh, they have a voice changer, oh, they're a 50-year-old man using a voice changer, it's just, how do you know it's a voice changer? Because you really don't. Unless they actively say that I'm using a voice changer, you can't really prove it. And you're an idiot for saying that they're using a voice changer. Hell, there were even some people who came to my stream a long time ago that thought I was using a voice changer because they thought the voice I'm speaking in isn't actually my real voice, which it actually is. I don't even know how to use a voice changer, let alone where to fucking get one. But in slinging slurs, who the fuck cares?
oh, this VTuber is putting on a voice. How do you know that? Like, what is your proof that they're faking their voice? The voice of consent, ladies and gentlemen, but clearly they want people deplatformed over this subject, and of course the comments are not really going the way they expected, as you can see, and then people pulling out the shoe on head meme.
That shoe meme is gonna live for a long ass time.
To be expected, because the other VTuber we're talking about here makes adult content. And then Someone makes a reply saying a self-admitted lewd tuber is trying to pretend she has the moral high ground. Hilarious. And Nitha says, sure do. I do more for animals in the planet in a week than you'll do your entire life. You're just another soulless crap lord. Hope that helps.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You don't have any moral high ground when you're actively a lewd tuber that probably posts stuff on either Fansly or OnlyFans. You don't have any moral high ground. You've lost any moral high ground the moment you started doing that shit and being a lewd tuber like that. I mean, you can be a lewd tuber and still not post stuff on Fansly or OnlyFans and have a moral high ground. But the moment you start doing that sort of shit and, you know, promoting that shit and doing that stuff, you lost any moral high ground. I can probably bet that this person has like a Fansly or something.
So this person is being made fun of for being a lewd tuber, and their response is,
actually, let's see.
I do more for animals in the planet than you'll ever do in your life. Interesting. It's weird how this person can assume that someone is putting on a voice, but we have to assume that they're telling the truth when they do more for animals and the planet in a week than other users will do in their entire life. Very interesting stuff. But we see another reply saying, I don't know this person, nor do I care about the content they make, but crying and moaning and asking to deplatform someone because they said something you don't like is peak mental retardation. Don't watch them if you don't like them. And Nitha says, bad people don't deserve platforms. It's really that simple. So by their standard, and a standard I've seen across all of these activist VTubers, is that if you're a bad person, you don't deserve a platform. And by bad person, it means someone who has a different thought process, different political views, or says things that make them upset. Many such cases. But you can see this is the post that would really spark the drama, where Nani very aggressively thanked her community for showing up to her latest stream. I know. She was basically asking for this reply right here, where Nitha would say, have you ever thought about shutting the F up? And then Nani would reply saying, LOL, showing hidden replies that Nitha was very triggered by, obviously, which is very interesting because this post, as we just saw, she replied to it.
I can't find her.
So she replied, didn't
I can't find her Twitter page. I don't think she exists anymore.
like the fact that they were ratioing her. So then she hid the reply. Cowardly stuff. But Nitha would reply saying, yeah, you're hidden. You're talking to a different person, but anyways. I don't need a pick-me and her army of incels on my post. You want to talk your crap on Discord? I'd be happy to chat on voice, sis. The TikTok...
Oh, so she does have a Fansly and NSFWX. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't have any moral high ground.
Talkification of how these people speak is very interesting. But of course, they're using the insult pick me, right? They're saying pick me and then saying that Nani has an army of incels. I hate to break this to you, sis, but those incels you're making fun of and the fact that you're calling other people pick-me's, you need those incels because you make adult content. Who do you think is buying your content? Like, the lack of self-awareness is astounding, but we see this all the time from people who make this sort of adult content. They hate the customer base that they are pandering to. But Nani would reply saying schmore with a screenshot of this VTuber's list of 18 plus platforms.
Oh my god, she has so many. Even R-Play on Patreon, Soundgasm, even the Hub.
Including
this Nithaedra. I tried looking and I couldn't find her profile.
The Hub. Now, for those who don't know, there was such an influx. There was such a high level of illegal content, including content featuring children, abuse material, that the Hub a few years ago had to wipe out 95% of their content because there was so much of it. They didn't know what to do other than to basically nuke their entire platform, okay? And somehow, this Nitha person is still there, which is a whole nother conversation, but something to point out. Nitha would respond to that saying, I can hear your weight in your voice. Whoa! That sounds a little fat-phobic. I thought this was the progressive person, ladies and gentlemen, and now they're fat-shaming someone for their perceived weight based on their voice. Not only will they'll call you a predator if your voice is too high, but they'll also claim you're fat. Very interesting stuff. But they continue on saying, I think your followers, if they knew your size, would leave you because they're all terrible people just like you. Yeah, one thing about good people is that they never have to tell you how good of a person they are. And when you're constantly saying everyone who's mad at me is a terrible person, it seems a bit insecure, to say the least. And Nani would say this, the Schmore continues its rambling, not remembering it's only good for opening its legs and not for its mouth. And then Nitha says, pick me, and no other rebuttals. I'm shocked. Pick me is such a lazy and tired insult that people use when they have no other, real criticism to ever launch. But Nani would add on saying, here's my weight, by the way. You're actually regarded. No wonder you have to make adult content. Get lost. And Nitha says,
it just keeps going and going and going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going and going and going and going.
a lot to say though, sis. I saw you didn't respond to my offer, so let me try again. How about running your mouth over VC since you have a lot to say? I don't think people want to talk to you. That's really it. I don't think people want to put in the effort to talk to you on another platform because they're seeing what you're saying.
Me personally, I wouldn't want to talk to somebody like this either. They just seem like they're exhausting, and they would go around in circles in the argument, not realizing the logic in the argument, and they just think they're right and everyone else is wrong, no matter what the other person says.
On this platform, and it's that bad and that pathetic that they don't want to put in the extra effort to come into your Discord and talk there. But anyways, Nani says, why the F would I talk to a prostitute? LOL. I think I'm going to have to pass, and no, I won't sub to your OF. Sorry. And Nitha says, that's what I thought. You're pussing out. As expected. Keep...
Oh, Rev will easily say pussing out, but not other things?
hiding behind that keyboard and your army of incels. Sis, you're a VTuber. Talking about hiding behind a keyboard. That's what people say about, VTubers and, Anons online. Friendly fire, I guess. But Nani says, didn't you hide my effing reply off your post? Are you genuinely regarded? Serious question. Are you mentally inept? And Nitha...
Honestly, I kind of think Nitha probably is mentally inept. She keeps digging the hole she put herself in deeper and deeper that not even a rope or a ladder can get her out of.
Says, removing your ability to get attention from my posts is now cowardly, babe. I'm telling you, the way these people...
Nitha is nothing but a walking red flag with...
speak is a massive red flag. They all do the same thing. They all speak like this. But anyways, you are afraid to talk to me with your voice. That is most definitely a cowardly move. You thought you ate...
Okay, come on. He doesn't want to say this, but he says he says puss out and not this? Come on, Rev.
TikTok language too. My goodness. And then Nani says, I don't need attention from your post. You hid it because you didn't want any more negative attention on it. That was 99% of every comment on it, so you were the one hiding it. It's really not hard to grasp if you have an IQ above room temperature. Unfortunately, you don't. Reminder, you make adult content. And you can see this part right here kind of looming cryptically. Very threatening aura right here. Where Nitha would do a voice memo response that we're going to listen to right now.
Now, I know some slur slinging, pick me, is not on a moral high ground pretending to be better than me because I'm an adult and I do not say for work content. Honey, you say slurs. You're racist, you're homophobic, you say derogatory slurs for attention with a lolly model to be pedo bait. Honey, there is no comparison. You've lost. And all of these chronically online edgelord incels are going to come white knight you when they see these posts. But just remember one thing. You know who your target audience is. You got them already. We both know what you're doing.
Talking like this in your voice, so people watch me and find me interesting. Retard.
Really, you got a hell of a personality there. I'm really impressed.
I'm sorry, lady, but any moral high ground you think you are on is on nothing but rotted wood full of termites. You have no moral high ground. You do porn. Your moral high ground is nothing. It's not a moral high ground. It's an immoral wet cave full of nothing but sad, broken dreams.
I have to say, in all my years of covering drama, I've never been stun-locked like this. This is like some evil villain monologue where this person is basically saying they have won the situation. They have declared victory for themselves while totally crashing out and making an absolute fool out of themselves. All of this began, by the way, with a post about a stream, right? And this person provided this absolute gem.
I might be generalizing, but the ones who call strangers honey are usually grandmas and sex workers, and I don't think she's retired and baking. Yeah. See, I'm fine with grandmas calling you honey or something like that because they're grandmas. That's what they do.
See Nani quoting and saying, "What the F is this? This has to be one of the weirdest effing replies I've ever gotten on Twitter. I'm crying." Like I said earlier, I've covered a lot of drama. I've never seen someone leave a voice memo in response. You know they are absolutely seething if they go to lengths like that. But of course, there's another discussion to be raised here because we're talking about the tone of someone's voice. If your voice is too high, you must be faking it, and therefore you're some sort of a terrible, awful person. And in one of the previous threads, you can see someone saying Lily Pichu has a high voice, and no one is saying that stuff to her. Blue is literally a VTuber, predator baiter, go argue with a wall.
So almost any any VTuber that has a young looking model is a pedo baiter. Yeah, I can see your twisted logic.
And Nani says, in quotes, literally a VTuber, end quote, so effing what? That's the thing, right? So I guess in the minds of these woke people, if they hear a high-pitched voice, it's fine until it has a VTuber model. Then it's something to accuse them of literal crimes over. It's absolutely insane. And I think the irony here is that Nitha follows Lily Pichu, which again, she is someone with a high-pitched voice, and she's been accused of predator baiting. But now all of these people are okay with her, and she's done nothing wrong, by the way. But they're okay with her, but now they're canceling someone like Nani or Blue, claiming that they're predator baiting because they have a high-pitched voice, plus VTuber model. That's really all they got. And as you can see from this post from Nani, they say, "I never know what to put in my Twitter bio. Thanks, weird Twitter people," where you can see Nitha saying, "You cater to bigot, racist, homophobes." And another person saying, "Literally a VTuber." So, bio has been adjusted. Very based, ladies and gentlemen. But Nitha was not done. The crash out has not ceased.
Of course it hasn't.
They have continued. Where one user says, "You're instigating fights," and they respond by saying, "Nope, I defended myself," by showing this screenshot, which makes no sense when you look at the chronological order of events here, where they made this reply to a post talking about people showing up to Nani's stream. Then you can see another user saying, "Pick me and incel are the most regarded insults from Fansly girls. Your whole business model is getting incels to pick you to spend their money on." And Nitha says, "Incels don't spend money on Fansly girls. Incels are women-hating perpetual virgin edgelords that hate women because women won't let them touch them and type angsty paragraphs and slurs from their parents' basement. My guy, look in the mirror. You are the definition.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen cope like this. Incels don't spend money on adult platforms. Neither.
Have these people heard of wanting to leave the house without being swarmed by people? Isn't that a valid reason to be a VTuber instead of a normal streamer YouTube? Yeah. I mean, a lot of people be VTubers because they like the anonymity. They don't want people to know who they are or where they are or anything else. It's just the model and the voice. That's it. Can't cancel someone if you've never seen their if we're never their fan base. Yeah.
That is your fan base. That is your livelihood, is appealing to people who are paying you to see your body or your content because they can't get it otherwise. You are insulting your own customer base. How do you not realize this? It's actually insane. But they would double down saying, Happy Monday. Now, they had other tweets. I didn't screenshot them. They deleted all of them. They were still crashing out. But they left this one up. And, of course, people are saying, are you actually doing digital blackface? That was a real thing, by the way. Posting GIFs of black women is apparently doing digital blackface. That was a whole thing. But Nitha is woke, so that's their standard. But they reply saying, kick rocks, incel bigot. One look at your profile told me exactly what I needed to know about you. Amazing stuff,
At
ladies
the
and
very least,
gentlemen.
Nani got way
Reminder,
more
it
subscribers
all began
after
with
this.
this.
Good on Nani.
It all began with this. There were some side quests, but ultimately a post thanking their community for showing up to their stream led to one of the most epic crash outs I've seen in a minute. But that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Maybe I should go watch one Nani streams. She sounds based. She sounds like a cool little lady. But yeah, that's it's always some sort of VTuber drama every single day, I swear. The VTuber sphere cannot go one day without any sort of drama, which is kind of sad. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well, so please make sure to give that a look-see, see if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.